Proud histories, bright futures. This was the motto going around the Villa Park by the fans on the final match of the 2006-2007 season. 10 years on, Lerner has sold up and the club has been relegated to the Championship. The 2015-16 season is a season I think we can all agree that Villa fans will be hoping and trying to ignore. Lerner bought the club for £62.6 million back in 2006. In a statement he said, "It's my belief and the basis for the bid that Aston Villa can compete at the highest level within the Premiership and Europe." In the first year as owner, Lerner got the Villa crest tattooed on his ankle in a sign of support and spent £8 million improving the training ground / club's academy. Villa finished fairly strong, finishing 11th in the Premiership in 2006-2007 season, and they started the season even stronger under Martin O'Neill. Going 9 games unbeaten, taking points from Arsenal and Chelsea, they were the last team in the Premiership to be defeated. They spent about £16.5 million that season. Moving on to the next season in 07-08, Villa were poor in the cup rounds. They weren't very good in the FA Cup or the Carling Cup, but with another 11 players joining and improving the squad, Villa finished 6th. Lerner was aiming at a top 4 finish, so in the 08-09 season he opened his wallet yet again, spending another £34.5 million, if not a little bit more. Villa finished 6th again. The 08-09 season saw signings like James Milner join for £12 million, Curtis Davis joined for £8 million, and other players like Brad Friedel, Guzan, Shorey, Luke Young and Emil Heskey joined the club. 09-2010 season, Lerner spent out another 20 to 40 million on players. Yet again, Villa finished 6th. New players like Downing, Delph, Warnock, James Collins and Richard Dunn. This was also the season Villa's captain Gareth Barry left to join Man City for £12 million. Villa did well in both the FA Cup, finishing in the semi-finals, and the Carling Cup, which they finished as a runner-up in that match, but still couldn't reach that 4th place spot in the Premiership. In 09-10 was probably the season where Villa started to lose some of their big players, some of their key players. 2010 and 11 season, not only did they finish 9th, worst in 3 years, but they also lost Martin O'Neill, who resigned on the 9th of August 2010 due to issues with the relationship with Lerner, with him selling some of the key players. In 2010-2011 season again, they got a new manager. Lerner splashed the cash out even more by bringing in players like Stephen Ireland, Robert Pires on a free transfer, and £18 million player Darren Bent. Nicky Shorey and James Milner both left in August 2010. John Carew was sent to Stoke for the rest of the season, who was at that point their top goal scorer. The 2011-2012 season saw former Birmingham City boss Alex McLeish join Villa, with Julia leaving after less than a year due to health issues. This was another terrible season for Villa. Number of records were broken this season. Lowest numbers of points in the Premiership, 38 in 38 games. Fewest wins in the season, that would be 7. And the worst home record in Villa's 138 years history, 19 points from 57. Villa were knocked out of the 3rd round of the League Cup and the 4th round of the FA Cup. Villa spent yet again more money on players, being around 16 million, and they finished that season 16th, with 7 promising players leaving at the beginning of the season and not enough new promising replacements. At this point, I'm sure a lot of Villa fans were hoping that it can only get better. Let's hope that the 2012-13 season can show some more promising signings and some more promising action in the Premiership. This was their worst year in a long time. With the 2012-13 season, the club was managed by Paul Lambert. 3 years, 3 managers. Lerner spent another 22 million plus on transfers this season. Lambert brought in Benteke, Vlar and Westwood. Villa finished 15th and got into the semi-finals of the League Cup. Benteke was their top scorer, 19 in the league, 23 all in. A bargain for only £7 million. Lambert stuck around in the 2013-14 season and finished 15th again. With a poor cup run, 3rd round in both the FA and League Cup, Benteke went from scoring 23 goals last season to 11 in all competitions that season. Villa spent around another £10 million on players this season. Before being sacked and replaced by Tim Sherwood, Lambert stated they need investments, but Villa had to sell to buy. Benteke and Delph left from about £40 million. The 2014-15 season saw Aston Villa reach the final of the FA Cup and the second round of the League Cup. Lambert left Villa on the 11th of February 2015, only 5 months before signing a new contract, committing to the club until 2018. Lambert was replaced 3 days later by Tim Sherwood. Lambert was also able to spend around 13 mils in the 2 transfer windows of this season. Villa finished 17th that season, just 3 points clear from relegation, and things got even worse in the 15-16 season. This was going to be Sherwood's first full season as manager at Villa, and with the new summer signings, Scott Sinclair, Michael Richards, Julian Lescott and Traore from Barcelona, and a few other players that cost about 9 mil each, Sherwood was able to splash the cash. £52 million in total. Most of that money came from the Benteke and Delph £40 million. Although he lost 2 key players, Benteke for 32.5 mil and Delph for the 8 mil buyout clause in his contract. Oh, and Bent was released on a free transfer, as well as 11 other players. Personally, when I heard that Villa had signed Michael Richards, I was shocked. I could not believe out of all of the teams in the Premiership, out of all of the teams in the world, he picked to go to Villa. Not having anything against Villa, but I think he's a bigger player than the Villa club itself. On the 24th of October, Villa sacked Sherwood after a 2-1 defeat against Swansea. 8 defeats in 10 games, and that was 6 in a row defeats. Villa appointed, which can only be classed as a sacrifice. A manager's reputation was on the line. Rather than signing a manager with Premiership survival experience, Aston Villa signed Remy Gardy as their manager on the 2nd of November. Remy parted ways before the season even ended on the 29th of March. Just 5 months later, the club were relegated from top flight football after losing to Manchester United in the league. Proud history, bright future. Villa now have to prepare, quoting what's on the badge, or what used to be on the badge, for Championship football. With a new owner, Dr. Tony Exia, and a new manager, rumoured to be Di Matteo, who knows where they will finish next season? Personally, I haven't got a clue. I really hope that they do finish high and they do come back to the Premiership soon, but they need to learn from their mistakes. When you look at the players that they've played for Villa between 2006 and 2015, and the squad they had in 2016, it's just a whole different level of bad. I kind of feel bad for Lerner. At heart, he wanted to make Villa this great winning team, winning them trophies, improving and bettering the club, but everything he did just made the club worse. And the fans were against him, the players ended up going against him. It was a downward spiral, and I feel really bad for him personally. In my eyes, it all went wrong when he started selling key players behind O'Neill's back, and worse when O'Neill left the club. The team needs to invest their funds on buying young, talented players and selling or releasing a lot of their current squad. Cahill and Vlar, or Richards and Lescott. Ashley Young or Scott Sinclair. Benteke or Ayew. Thanks for listening to my Villa ramble. If you enjoyed this type of football talk with the facts and opinions over a random transfer talk video that I've done in the past, comment below, hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, why not sub to me? I'll catch you next time guys for another footy chat. Thanks for watching guys. If you've enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please hit that like button and leave some feedback below. And if you're new to my channel, why not sub to me? It won't cost you a penny.